Hi, I'm Robert Preston, and these are my Diana paintings, and I'm going to give you the history of how they came about. I discovered this image online one day. I was scrolling through the internet, and I was surfing from one thing to another, and this thing came onto my screen. And I thought it was a really powerful and compelling image because it was Princess Diana, who was the most photographed woman probably in history, and she's being caught by the dead eye of a surveillance camera on the night she died, and it's time stamped so you know exactly what the timeline is in that fatal evening for Diana. So I found that it was just a really powerful image. So I think I just must have pulled it off and put it on my desktop on my computer and forgot about it. And it was, I don't know, it could have been years later. I don't know how long it was, but I pulled it up and I started painting it. I found it really compelling. And part of the reason for that is that I had been working very almost photorealistically, really detail-oriented work from photographs, and it was driving me nuts. And I wanted something that was a little more rough, the way a surveillance camera video can be. And I liked the idea of trying to capture that raw video quality to the painting, because it was liberating to me after all of this fussing for perfection. So I like it because then it becomes ghostly, and so when I painted this, I got into a situation where I didn't know what I was looking at. I couldn't figure out what was going on in this area up here. And then finally I realized that it was a reflection. It was a mirror of the people standing in the door of the elevator. Whether they were people that worked at the hotel or whoever they were out there, and you can see them looking out at them. But it gives it this sort of ghostly quality, and you get these reflections. So to me, it's something very haunting about the whole thing. It just, there's a feeling of foreboding and dread, and they're spooky. They're haunted. So at any rate, that's what got me started. And then once I did this painting, I did a search and discovered that there were, it turned out, 5 other images from the same night on different video cameras. This is Diana and Dodie going across the lobby of the hotel, but I really loved getting this sort of Diana and Dodie as these kind of like blobs, and this sort of real rough. I wanted that look. I wanted that, her eyes are just 2 black dots, and I was really, I really like working with the blurry image. So this is the next one in the series in terms of the actual timeline of that night. And she's there by herself looking somewhat subdued. And again, you have this sort of ghostly, who are these? What is this creature up behind in the door of the elevator? Over here as well, you have these spirits. Here's Diana in the reflection too. This image was one of the later paintings, and again, because it was something that I hadn't seen, it popped up. I found it after quite a bit of time after. This whole series took a long time. I'm not really sure, but it wasn't like a linear thing. I definitely kind of came and went on this particular project. But this is Diana, and this is her bodyguard. This was her bodyguard, Trevor, whose name escapes me, and he was the only one to survive the crash. So they're back in the elevator, and what's going on in this particular image is that you've got the driver of the car, you've got the bodyguard, you've got Dodie Fayez, and you've got Diana in the elevator. So this is the last image in time that I was ever able to find from this series. I'm sure there's more, but this is all that I've been able to find. So sometime after I painted these, I was in a show in Jersey City, New Jersey, at this place called Drawing Rooms, which was an old convent, which had all these little rooms, little cells that the nuns used to live in. But when you had a group show, it made it marvelous because people could have their own rooms. So in one of the shows there, I had my own room, and I put these 6 paintings up. And people were really moved by them. And I think part of it was, like the Kennedy assassination, anybody that was alive remembers hearing about Diana. It was something that was kind of a universal thing. People just, you know, it impacted everybody. And people got really emotional about it. And it's just, to me, it was really satisfying as an artist, because it's really obvious that people aren't necessarily going to want to live with these images as decor, but you can make art that's for art's sake, you know, that people can respond to and get emotional about or whatever. Somebody who saw the painting told me that Diana's hand looked skeletal. And this is the last painting in the series, as it turns out. And I certainly didn't intend that when I painted it. It wasn't something I was like, I'm going to make her hand look skeletal. I think it does, but it's not something that was any intention for me to do at all. So that's the series. Do you have any questions about it?
Why are you sharing this series now, Robert?
Thank you for asking. The reason I'm sharing this series now is because my wife nudged me with her elbow and said, do you know that it's been 25 years since Diana died? Maybe you should pull your paintings out. And I thought it was a great idea, so I did. So at any rate, yeah, it's been 25 years, and that's amazing. You know,
Yes.
It's just, you think what Diana was in her late 30s or something, and she will always be 37 or 38 years old, and young and beautiful forever. And you know, it's just a long time ago, 25 years ago. So
Thanks for sharing this
okay.
series.
Thank you.